Welcome to the Practice Podcast, a show created by lawyers to help lawyers in life and business without all the complicated lawyer language. Let's welcome Bast Amron founders and your hosts, Jeff Bast and Brett Amron.
Hi, Brett.
Hi, Jeff.
Wow, it's a little bit of a dramatic pause there. Should we read into that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Trying to be
seem very calm today.
Dramatic.
Yes. We're recording this in the summer. We are recently back.
The dog days.
Back in the office.
Yeah.
Glad to be recording in the studio.
Of course.
As you know.
Yes, I do. And I'm glad to be recording with you, and I'm glad that you're recording with me. And I know you are too.
I'm going to ask you a question.
No, I'm going to ask you a question.
Wait, you're going to ask me a question?
I am going to ask you a question.
What?
Today. Yes. We've been away from each other for so long that I thought of a question. And it dovetails with the fact that we're now back and it's still summer, but really end of summer. And so every year, if we travel and, summertime is a time when a lot of times, especially if you have children, summertime is a lot calmer than during the school year. And so it gives me at least an opportunity to kind of think about, okay, how do I want to finish off the year? So, sometimes I come out of the summer with, either is it a physical challenge I want to do, something with work, something with the family, whatever it is, and I say, all right, this, kind of think about things, and I'd either like to change something up, or I'm adding something I'd like to do for year end. Is there anything like that for you as you come back and end the summer, start the fall? And I know you are an empty nester now, so you're not starting the school year here. Your kids are in school in different places, but is there anything like that for you?
Anything that
you've come out of the summer and you're like, okay, I've had time to kind of think and it's not as hectic. And so now and I've been away from my everyday life, my home, and now I'm back and it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'd like to change this, or maybe I'd like to do that, or anything.
Yeah. God, there's like a lot.
Well, we only have 30 minutes, so take your time.
Some of it is, getting back in my routine. I was out of my routine up in Maine, where I just wasn't doing my morning meditation and stretches and all the, different things I do there. I've already started. I'm back. I'm like really back in my routine. I want to stick with my routine because I know that I'm at my best when I stick with it. I played a lot of guitar in Maine. I bought a new guitar, which I'm really excited about up there. And
did you bring that home with you?
I didn't bring it home. This is the whole discussion about, do I bring it home? And then and I was like, I just love this guitar. It's great. I really want to bring it home.
Now it's there and you're missing it.
Then you have to lug it back next year. And so she's like, why don't you get another one in Miami? And so you'll have... And I already have 4 or 5 guitars at home, plus one here in the office. And so but I am going to order that same guitar for Miami. Okay. Anyway, the point is, you can never have enough guitars.
Well, yes.
So I want to play a little more music. I had set a challenge at your question last year at the end of the year attorney's lunch to swim a longer distance than I ever had. And I beat my record on December 31st of 2023 that I want to count for 2024, but now I feel like I have to go even further.
Yeah.
I just don't know logistically how we're going to figure that out. We need
where there's a will, there's
nutrition.
a way.
I need people's help. And anyway, so
I will volunteer.
I'm going to try to do that.
I will help you.
And I am an empty nester, but my kids haven't left yet back for school.
Right.
Still enjoying that time. And I'm also looking forward to time. I think we found that as much as we miss the kids, being an empty nester allows Jolly and I to, nurture our relationship and spend quality time with each other and also with our dog and do a lot of socializing. Like Jolly's really good about, reaching out to friends we haven't seen in a while and making plans. And so I think that's important. And then we'll do some travel to see the kids, and we're planning to go see a concert with Micah out of town, and so
excellent.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, but it's not like one big thing other than the swim. There's not like one big thing.
No, but it doesn't have to be one thing. But it is something. A lot of times we use the summer as an opportunity to sort of plan, right, for the fall and the winter, and kind of look, because you're not drinking from a fire hose as much when there's no school, you know? Yes, you have other things and the kids are doing things and whatever, but I feel like it's a little bit calmer,
right?
Especially when you can remove yourself from your day-to-day,
for sure,
and sort of recharge and restart. And so that's why
we had
asked that question.
As I think you know, we've had a very challenging year. Some personal things that occurred this year that were extremely difficult that we're still working through, and then I'm hoping that the fall will kind of help serve as a reset for all of us. That, you know, Hannah and Max will be back in school. Micah's, you know, working now, living on her own, and working, and, you know, sort of starting her life as an adult. And then Jolly and I are still adjusting to being empty nesters. It is an adjustment. It's a big adjustment. So
you find that you still like each other.
Thankfully, yes.
That's good.
Thankfully, yes.
That's good.
What about you? What's your...
I think Lauren and I still like each other.
No, but what's your
that wasn't the
fall reset? We could talk about this the whole year, because I agree with you, because I mean, it's kind of shocking to me that it's August.
Yeah.
Like, we are now in the back, you know, well into the back half of the year. I'm shocked.
And it's interesting. So where we don't go to Maine, but, you know, we go in the Northeast as well. And, you know, the summer's really just getting started up there, you know, when we have to leave and come back, because school doesn't start up there until after Labor Day. And so August is like their time. So we're leaving when everyone is like just sort of getting ramped up, you know, which kind of, you know, doesn't feel great. But like, I do like getting back to, you know, my stuff, my house, my routine. And I don't like to use the word routine because that seems like draconian and boring, but it is. I don't waste any time like you. Like, so we got back on Sunday evening, and Monday morning, boom, I was right at it.
Right.
My alarm went off and I was right back at it.
Yeah.
Because I missed 2 days while we were on the road, and I felt bad about that. But, you know, I like having my stuff. So one of the things that Lauren and I like to do during the summer is sort of look at the rest of the year and kind of plan out a little bit of the travel. And now we'll have Dylan, who's going to be away at school. And so trying to figure that out, and trying to figure out some stuff with Hayden, who's still here, and Danny, who's finishing, you know, who's going to be finished. He's got one more semester, but he's you know, he's got his stuff going on. And so sort of mapping that out as well for the rest of the year, you know, for 2024, and maybe even the first half of 2025 as well, because of the school year and all that. So we use that as a good opportunity to kind of sit back and take a look and plan that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of an exciting time, I think, like when you're coming back from the summer. And like you made this comment about coming back to your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're a runner, so like your stuff, I know it's not your shoes, but like your bed and your house and your prop, you know, your house, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I was immediately out there cleaning my pool the next day and just like watering my plants. And
we got home on Sunday. So after driving for 2 days, right? And like, I'm tired. Like, we woke up at 4 a.m, like tired. I had unpacked. Everything was put away. I know Lauren had thrown in laundry already. I went and I cleaned certain things outside. I changed the filters in the air conditioning units.
You just remind me.
Once a month, right? You got to do it every month.
Yeah,
so I mean, there were I had to reset some things. Like, everything was done that night that I was thinking about on the drive. Like, I had to get it done.
So are you that type of person? I mean, I'm asking this question, I'm answering it in my head.
Yes. I am that
type of person that when you come home, you empty your suitcase like right away.
Oh, immediately.
Like, you don't leave a packed suitcase for days. Like,
no, days. Yeah. No, not even a day.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the
same way. Yeah.
The only time we do that is, for example, if the kids used to go to camp, come home from camp, we'd leave the bags in the garage
to let them smell.
Yeah, and then slowly kind of do that. But if we're on like a trip, either a business trip or family trip, no, man, the bags are immediately unpacked and put away, and all the stuff is put away and all. Yeah. No.
I was surprised to learn that not everyone does that. Like, I just get home and I unpack right away. And
I don't know, maybe because I don't have enough stuff. Maybe I need
it to close.
I don't know. I mean, I obviously have multiple pairs of running shoes, and I did bring some stuff with me. I don't have all my stuff. I have my gym set up in my garage, and so that's, you know, better for me, and you know, the Peloton that I ride and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just being in your own element, and you know, it's different. It's just being in your sort of everyday stuff, getting back to it. It's nice to leave it because I think by the time we're ready to go, it's nice to sort of, get out of it. But it's nice to come back to it.
No, I like home, and I love Miami, and it's.
If it were just a little bit
here.
warmer, and
I don't mind. I am not. It does not bother me.
I know. Well, it bothers me on a couple levels. And I know we're going way off track here, but it bothers me on a couple levels. One is, as soon as you step outside, you immediately have a glaze on you. Immediately.
Right. Yes.
It's right. So if you get dressed and it's just
right. If you're going somewhere, right.
And for running, it is brutal.
Yeah.
It is absolutely brutal. It is hard to breathe. It is just, it is just tough.
I'm with
you. The heat is one thing, but it is the humidity. Right. And so anyway, so as a runner being outside, it's just hard.
Right.
Do I do it? Do I push through it? Yeah. I mean, okay. But it's just, it's tough. So I don't look forward to this time of year in terms of the weather.
But you just do it early? Can you do it earlier or it's still the same?
So even at 5:30 in the morning, if I look at the weather.
Nelson, do you hear that? 5:30. What time are you
better
running?
Get up soon, bud. Come on.
What time are you running?
9.
Oh, at night.
At night. Well, okay. So it's dark. At night. Okay. So at 5:30 in the morning, if you look at the temperature, it's in the 80s, but it already feels like it's in the 90s. And the sun's not up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, when the sun gets up, it's hotter and it's worse.
Right.
Like when the sun is beating on you. But it's still bad in the summer. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe
no
we should just
escaping
talk about this, how to reset from the summer. Because
I'm
curious if it, does that translate to work too? Because we're talking about how you get back to, all the stuff you want to do at home and play guitar and run and all that kind of stuff. But
but talk about work. So, I mean, look.
Is there a reset for you?
A little bit. I mean, so like you and I both work when we're not here, right? And that has obviously been elevated post-COVID, right? Most people, we didn't really think about we did it, but we didn't really think that it was a thing you could do for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
It is now a thing you could do for an extended period of time, especially if we've been doing it for a long time, like you and I, right? Did I want to get out and get a break? Yeah, I did. But I started to kind of miss this place, and miss the camaraderie and the people and our team. I did like coming back. And it was an extended period of time because of different circumstances and travel and things like that neither you nor I were in the office. I think it's the first time for both of us being gone for that long.
More than a month, yeah.
It was a reset for me and like, okay, the first half of the year, this was a nice break. Second half of the year is coming. Here's what I've got planned over the next 4 months and how to finish off the year strong.
Right. Yeah. Like you, I'm just way more productive in the office. If I'm going to work, I'd much rather do it here. And it's not just, obviously the desk setup and all that kind of stuff, but just having the team,
environment,
having the team here and talking to people because, I'm already like our cases are already advancing in a different way by the mere physical, presence together, the team being together.
Sure.
I think because we're, we have one case that, one of the attorneys and I we've been talking constantly the last few days since I'm back. And we talked over, while I was away, but when, that barrier is a barrier.
Yeah.
It's
not as organic.
It's not hard to call someone.
No, but it's not as
requires
organic,
you calling
right?
someone.
Yeah.
And some things are, we've talked about this. Some topics are the kind of a pop-in topic, and then there's a call topic.
Right.
Like some things are not, like I wouldn't call that person.
Right.
But I would pop in and talk to them about it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think that the reset is important. And this kind of goes to an episode we recorded many years ago about self-care. Actually, we recorded it. It was our last episode that we recorded. And it's like the importance of the reset.
Many minutes ago, yeah.
It's the importance of the reset that I think taking breaks, even if you're working, taking a break, getting out of your comfort zone. So, we remember one of the things on self-care we didn't talk about, one of the attorneys used to do all the time, and now he doesn't do it because he moved, but was go for a walk, during the day.
Yes.
Get out of the office and go for a walk. And to me, it's like very similar. That's a micro vacation for him. Goes out, takes an hour-long walk or half an hour walk along the water, whatever, comes back, reset, boom, back to work.
Well, it's resetting your mind. It's getting out of the rut, of the sort of, sometimes you feel like you're stuck. Get out of that. Sometimes you feel like I'm a little tired of the same old, so I just need a little shake it up. right? I need a little, even if it's a weekend or a week, where you're going to take a vacation and not work, or you're going to change your location and work. So yeah, I think for me, it is a reset. And, do I want to be here in August? I mean, it's, as I said, it's tough to be here in August just because of the weather at all. But, it's nice to be back in the office. It's nice to be back with our team. And it's nice to be back sort of in our like daily lives, if you will. And like I said, with my stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, I think having a reset is important, but also, coming out of it. Like you already said, you guys come out of it, you're already planning for next year. I mean, you just said you're planning for 2025. And it's like some people, I still feel like I'm in the beginning. I feel like I'm in the first half of 2024 right now, even though I know it's not. So there's the catching up, but I think whether you're a goal setter, I sometimes set goals. I'm not always that consistent. I don't love the goals unless I have something that I think is meaningful. Like I have the swim goal, whatever. I want to swim the farther distance this year. Yeah. But if I don't do that, I'm not going to be like mad at myself or anything.
So you just reminded me what my goal was that I stated at the beginning of the year, or for 2024.
You said it in 20.
I said it at the end of 23 for 24 was to run 50 miles.
50.
Not a 50K,
Not
which I've done.
50 miles.
Right. Not a 50K.
I'm looking at you, Nelson.
Yeah. So 50 miles.
And I haven't do that.
I've just thought about that, and I need to try to do that, and that to plan that out is going to be tough.
Right. Because what do you need? What are the tools that you need for that? Like, do you need a trainer or
no,
something?
I don't need a trainer.
Okay.
I mean, I would plan. I would sort of map out. So I need probably 3 months of
because you're going to build up as if you were doing a race, but you just do this on your own. Do you have the discipline to do that? Like to do your own race? I know the answer to this, but sometimes I ask questions on this podcast that
the answer
to which I know the answer.
That's a good cross-examiner right there.
Yes,
I think I do. I think I have. I think, well, I certainly have the discipline. I mean, I do, I exercise every day, but I think I do. I certainly would have the discipline to train on my own, which I've done for everything I've done, right? Whether it's a an endurance event, whether it's a 50K, whether it's a
trial,
hiking, whatever, a trial.
I'm saying,
I train for trial.
You have the discipline. You do have to train.
So, I do that all on my own. I don't know why I wouldn't have the discipline to do it, but I would need support because for 50 miles, I'm not going to carry all my own stuff, right?
There's the same thing I was saying about the swim. We had people waiting for us to give us water and food.
So I would probably need support. So I don't think I can I was just talking to a friend of mine to try to plan out some races because it takes time to plan it out and do it. We were looking, he really would like to do one in the winter or the fall. And I was like, I don't know, in terms of timing. But if I'm going to meet my own stated goal, I'm going to have to find one and plan for it. That's not going to be easy to do.
Well, you tell us, and when I say us, myself and Nelson, what we need to, how we can support you. And we will support you.
I need you standing at mile 20. No, anyway, but I think the reset, the resets is always good. And it doesn't have to be the summer, right? It could be any time. It could be a weekend. It could be a day. It could be a walk around the block, resetting your brain to come back clear-headed and continue on. I think that's super important. So
it's also like we have that concept in, at work when we're having, a contentious case or whatever, and you really need to step away from the case for a minute, either work on something else or just walk away or whatever, because you're just too inside the thing. And I think the summer is a helpful reset, like in our life. It's like the case example is like a microcosm for it, or maybe the life example is, I don't know. I need a reset. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, we never even got to our topic, but this was fun anyways.
Do you want to preview the topic for our next podcast?
No, because I don't know. I don't know. You never know.
Maybe we're gonna accent. We might do it.
Sometimes we plan for one thing, and we just let the conversation take us where
organically take us wherever we want to go.
Do you want to talk more about the reset, the summer, reset up to the summer?
How much more did we talk about it? I don't know.
If you enjoyed this episode, despite the the late pause, please, I'm asking nicely, please leave us a 5-star review and share the show and follow us. Subscribe and save.
I like the crescendo. That's very dramatic in the crescendo at the end there.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Jeff.
For more information on this show and other resources, visit fastamron.com and connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram @FastAmron.